By the end of this assignment, 3 of these 4 special agents will have been eliminated by alien intelligence. By the end of this assignment, only 1 will have fulfilled his mission to become the Masterspy. With Jenny Lee Wright as the inscrutable Miss Moneypacker, here now is the man in control, your resident spy master, William Franklin.
Good evening. Spies come in all shapes and sizes, but none is more shapely than this one. This is Mitzi Kardenos. Her reputation in the world of international diplomacy is widely reflected in the obituary column. So far, 2 military attaches and 3 second secretaries have been left to choose between death and dishonor. Her arrival in London this week, thank you, Moneypacker, promotes a test that our 4 special agents assigned to it will need all their self-discipline and dedication for. Could we have the first agent in for screening, Moneypacker?
Certainly, Major. Agent Ian Mills combines his espionage activities with the job of an antique dealer. He's married and he lives in Daventry.
Hello, Mills. Good to have you with us. Would you like to sit down? Now, you're an antique dealer.
Yes, that's right.
What would you realistically be most pleased if it came into your hands in the world of antiques?
Something rather unusual. I'd be very, very keen to own a suit of armour.
Of any particular period?
Oh, 16th century.
Why particularly?
It's a very interesting object, good talking point, and I think would be just a very nice, interesting thing to own.
Now, tell me, are there any rules of thumb for the genuine and fake antiques?
Experience, really. And the other thing, of course, is if you buy something and sell it and make a profit, you've bought well. If you buy it and can't sell it and make a profit, then you've bought badly.
I see. Now, in counter-espionage, the cocktail bar has become a sort of cliché rendezvous for agents. But there is one thing you have to be aware of, and that is the Mickey Finn. Do you know what a Mickey Finn is?
Yes, it's someone spiking your drink.
That's right, spiking your drink, knockout drops, in fact. Well, imagine that one of these 3 drinks has actually got knockout drops in it.
Yes.
You know for certain that it isn't this one.
Yes.
But in fact, the fellows you're meeting are a little more suspicious than you are, so one of them goes in for a little shuffling game, which goes something like this. And I want you to tell me that when one of them asks you to toast him, which one would you safely choose?
I'd take the middle one.
I think you might spend the evening poleaxed on the floor, because it would in fact be that one. Now, the next test is a test of the reflex action of your reverse senses, as it were. I'd like you to just raise that mirror there. You'll find a pad. There we are. And there's a pen. I'd like you, if you would, looking in the mirror the whole time, write on that pad the word vex, and it must make sense in the mirror in capital letters. Yes, I'd like to get away with that word in Scrabble, but I don't think I would, actually. Anyway, it was a good attempt. Would you like to return to the briefing bay?
Thank you.
Agent Edmund Heaton is a North Countryman living in Oxfordshire. He's married with 3 sons and he works as a butcher.
Good evening, Heaton.
Good evening, sir.
Now, I've always been very interested in all people's professions. I mean, why does a man want to be a policeman or want to be a member of the clergy or an actor for that matter? Why did you decide that you wanted to make your profession a butcher?
Well, when I left school, I couldn't get, to be quite honest with you, I couldn't get another job. It was the only one I could get, and when I got in it, I got hooked on it. You know, I went to night school, served my apprenticeship for it, and I really got to like it. You know, I wouldn't do anything else.
Now, if you suddenly found yourself subordinate to a woman in your profession, in your trade, how would you make your working relationship work more successfully?
well, treat you with a bit of respect, you know, a bit of old-fashioned respect, and, you know, I think you get
that's
along
good to
pretty
hear.
fine.
I like that, I like that. Now, one of these 3 glasses has been ministered with knockout drops. We know for certain it isn't this one.
Yeah.
But the fellows that you're about to drink with are not quite as open-minded about things as you are, so they go in for a little bit of shoe shuffle, which goes something like this. I'd like you now to tell me which drink you'd be prepared to toast the other 2 in and hopefully survive.
Well, I'd have bought this one, you know.
I think you took a fairly ill-educated guess at that one, would I be right? It would in fact be that one.
No, stick with this one.
You'll stick with that one, will you? Well, I hope you see the evening through. Would you like to return it for the purposes of this test? Now, the next one, in fact, is the reverse visual logic test. Would you like to raise this mirror?
Yeah.
That's it. Now, there's a pen. I'd like you, looking in the mirror the whole time, write the word axe so that it appears correctly in capital letters in the mirror.
Oh,
Very good. Excellent.
Hang on.
I didn't have to hang on for long. Very good. Very good. Would you like to join your compatriot in the briefing bay?
Agent Khushjan Mohammed was born in Mombasa, but she's now living in the home counties. She's single and she works as a health visitor.
And Mohammed? Mombasa. Now, for those people who are not too hot on geography, would you like to tell us where it is?
It's a port on the east coast of Africa.
Is it actually in Kenya?
Yes.
It is indeed. In fact, it is the entry port, really, from the sea. Now, what was one of the hardest things to get used to when you moved your life from Mombasa to Britain?
The weather.
The weather. Yes, I think those of us who live here actually find it quite tricky as well. If you were having some friends to dinner and you wanted to give them the flavor of your home country, what would you cook for them?
Curry, of course.
Curry. Any particular curry?
Well, I'd use coconut as for 1 or 2 bases
Yeah.
for the curry, because you get lovely coconut in Mombasa.
Is that would that be a powerful curry or a medium or lightweight?
Medium.
Medium. Oh, well, that's fairly considerate of you, I would think. Now, one of these 3 glasses has been administered with knockout drops. Do you know what knockout drops are, do you? Well, we do know for certain that, in fact, it's not that one. But the kind of people that you're actually going to drink with are a little more suspicious than you are, perhaps. So they go in for a form of cocktail shaking, which you're not perhaps used to. And I'd like you to tell me which glass you would select in order to stay on your feet. You'd be absolutely right. You'd have a good evening. With the mirror that is under here, I'd like you to lift it. We want to test your reactions when the visual senses have been reversed. Would you like to just raise that lid? That's it. Now, there's a pen. I'm going to ask you to write, looking in the mirror the whole time, write the word wax in capital letters so that it reflects correctly in the mirror. Very good. I have a feeling you may have done that before, have you? Yeah? Well, that's very good. Would you like to join your colleagues in the briefing bay?
Agent David Brown is a Yorkshireman living in Doncaster. He's 31, married, and he sells electronic components.
Hello, Brown.
Good evening.
Doncaster.
Sorry?
It tempts me to ask you something, an abstract something. Could you define the abstract quality that makes Yorkshire grit?
The determination to knuckle down and get a job done.
Whatever it be.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I think that's fairly good and fairly succinct. Well, now, one of these 3 glasses has been doctored with knockout drinks. We know for certain it isn't this one. But the people that you're going to drink with, they are by nature a little suspicious. And so they go in for a certain kind of glass dance, which goes something like this. Now, I'd like to know which drink you'd take so that you could enjoy the evening.
I would take the middle one.
Would you?
Yes.
Is your enjoyment being unconscious? Because I think that's what the middle one would do. Would you now please turn your attention to This mirror, if you would raise this, you'll see there's a mirror there. There's a pen here. I'd like you to write in capital letters, looking only in the mirror and so that it reflects accurately in the mirror, the word key.
Key.
Key, K-E-Y, as opposed to the dockside. Well done. Would you like to join your colleagues in the briefing bay? And now to tonight's assignment. Ever since Anarchy International recruited Mitzi Kardenos to their ranks, they've escalated their activities in the world of political deviation. All her missions have one prime objective, the bloodless coup. Her methods are subtle and sinister. By ingratiating herself into the confidence of an overseas embassy official, she's able to gain access to certain state documents in transit. While the hapless diplomat is sleeping off the effects of a knockout drink, she changes certain words which totally alter the meaning of the text. She then replaces the document, and the victim is none the wiser. The man you're now looking at is Enrico Serges, who is in fact the second secretary of the London embassy of one of the more volatile South American republics. He doesn't know this, but he's the reason that Mitzi Kardenos has flown in from Panama. If her plans succeed, very shortly there'll be a photograph of a new president on the ambassador's wall. Your mission is quite simple. You are to prevent this international subterfuge and at the same time put a stop to Mitzi Kardenos' activities. Money Packer will brief you on the cover allocation that you've got.
Thank you, Major. Intelligence sources reveal that Mitzi Kardenos has only one reliable contact in London, the manager of the film club Studio 35, which is patronized by movie makers and devotees of screen nostalgia. For this reason, you've been given the covering role of film producers. And if you spent the last 48 hours wisely, you will have made a close study of your subject. To test your authenticity, we must now expose you to some very vigorous questioning. Agent Mills, please take the chair for interrogation.
Mills, 5 questions on the subject of screen nostalgia to be answered as rapidly as possible, because even if you give a wrong answer, you can gain marks for competence. Are you quite relaxed and ready?
Yes.
Who directed Dr. Zhivago?
John Huston.
No, it was David Lean. What is the name of the movie mogul who was once quoted as uttering the phrase, "include me out"?
Sam Goldwyn.
Quite correct. Robert Armstrong and Fay Wray appeared in a film in 1932 which featured some incredible trick photography. What was the film?
King Kong.
Correct. Who starred with Katharine Hepburn and James Stewart in the Philadelphia Story?
Cary Grant.
Correct. What is Rita Hayworth's real name?
Carmencita Concita.
Margarita
Concita.
Carmen Cancino. It's almost an anagram what you came up with, but I'm afraid it's not correct.
Agent Mills has scored 15 out of a possible 25, plus 2 for confidence, which is a total of 17.
Heaton, would you take the chair, please? Heaton, I don't know whether your luck goes in 3s, but here's a good beginning. Herbert Lom, Rod Steiger, and Charles Boyer all have something in common. What is it?
Napoleon.
Absolutely correct. They all played him. Who directed The Maltese Falcon and The African Queen?
Can't think of his name. Come in now, hang on a minute. Curtis.
No. John Huston, I'm
Huston.
afraid. John Huston was once accused of being behind schedule by his producer. He promptly tore 10 pages out of the shooting script. Then what is he quoted as saying to the producer?
There, we're back on schedule now.
That's right. I know how he felt. Several big stars appeared in The Magnificent Seven. One of them also appeared in Cast a Giant Shadow. Who was it?
Yul Brynner.
Correct. William Pratt. Who is he better known as?
Boris Karloff.
Quite correct.
Agent Heaton has scored 20 out of a possible 25, plus 1 for confidence, which is a total of 21.
Jan Mohammed, will you take the chair, please? This is a little before your time, but perhaps you know from your homework, when was the first Frankenstein film made?
1908.
Absolutely correct. Who directed Spartacus?
Stephen Kubrick.
What?
Steven Kubrick.
Well, it's Stanley Kubrick,
Stanley.
actually. I think we may allow you for the Kubrick part, which is the important part. What was the line that Clark Gable uttered in Gone with the Wind, which at the time caused a great stir?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
It's incredible to think that the word damn in those days was so horrifying. John Wayne, what's his real name?
Michael Morrison. Morrison Michael. Oh, God.
You've only got one permutation left, and I'm afraid you didn't get it. It's Marion Michael Morrison. Who appeared in The Magnificent Seven and The Battle of the Bulge?
Yul Brynner.
Charles Bronson.
Agent Jan Mohammed has scored 10 out of a possible 25, plus 4 for confidence, which is a total of 14.
Brown, would you take the chair, please? Start off in a rather literary vein. The book, The Seven Pillars of Wisdom, inspired a film. What was it?
Lawrence of Arabia.
Quite correct. Who is Tula Finkley, better known as?
Sid Charisse.
Quite correct. What character did Vivian Leigh, Elizabeth Taylor, and Virginia Mayer all portray?
Cleopatra.
Correct. While shooting the film Grand Prix, how did director John Frankenheimer manage to elicit a reaction of sheer horror from a crowd of uncooperative film extras?
You set their mobile canteen on fire.
That's absolutely correct. It would have had the same effect if you told them there were no bacon sandwiches, I think. Some Like It Hot. Who directed it?
Billy Wilder.
Correct.
Agent Brown has scored 25 out of a possible 25.
You'd like to join your colleagues back in the briefing bay. Now, as your mission will inevitably lead you to Studio 35, there are certain details of club membership of which you should be made fully aware. Moneypacker, with her usual efficiency, will mark your cards.
Thank you, Major. Studio 35 was formed 7 years ago as a meeting place for the membership to watch private screenings of classic films. To prevent the abuse of the facilities by non-members, an elaborate film selection procedure was evolved. 8 films are available in any one evening, and they are loaded automatically into a projector by a device known as the Fragmented Title Coordinator. We've built a similar unit, and we'd like to demonstrate its function. This is what happens. These letters of the alphabet are printed on 2 discs which can be made to rotate, like so. I'm rotating one, and produce the title of a film in that slot on the left. A member comes in and he selects one of these 8 cards. On these index cards are the name of the director, the cast, and the year in which the film was made. He must then find another member who wishes to view the same film, operate the Fragmented Title Coordinator, which loads the film into the projector. Now, we'd like you to become familiar with this process, so could I please have Agent Mills and Heaton to come and stand in front of the screen? And could Agents Jan Mohammed and Agent Brown just twirl around and watch that world map for a couple of moments so you don't see the procedure? Okay? Now then, Agent Heaton, would you like to select one of these 8 index cards and read out the details to your colleague?
In 1933, director Marion Cooper and Ernest Shortjack. Cast includes Fay Ray, Robert Armstrong, and Bruce Cabot.
Okay, now then, you can improve your rating by 10, depending on how quickly you can rotate the discs and produce the correct film title in that slot, starting from now. So near but so far. So near yet so far. You've got half of it in, but not the half. It was, of course, King Kong. So I can't give you any rating, and you did it in 46 seconds. Would you like to return to base? Such a shame. Agent Jan Mohammed and Agent Brown, would you like to come and stand in front of the screen? And I think I just ought to shuffle these around a moment. And would you like to choose one of the 8 index cards? Ladies, that's sweet. And could you read out the details to your colleague? I don't believe it. I think we'll take another card, don't you? Because they've actually picked the same card. Right, shall I like to try again? Now read out the details to your colleague. Would you like to read it, Agent Brown?
Made 1942, directed by Michael Curtis. Cast includes Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, Paul Henreid, Conrad Veidt, Claude Rains and Peter Lorre.
Okay, now, depending on the speed which you can operate the fragmented title coordinator, you must get the correct film title into that slot, starting now. It's the top.
See if I do the top. That's it. Got it.
Up a bit. Up a bit. Down. Oh, no. So near. So near. Yes, I think that's right. Ah, brilliant. You've done it in about 31 seconds, didn't you? Because the other two didn't complete it. But you've both improved your rating by 5. Would you like to return to your seats? And at this very critical stage of the mission, we'll have a look at our computer indicator. And it's telling me that Agent Brown, with 35, is in the lead. Agent Jan Mohammed, with 29, is second. Agent Heaton has 25. And that sound, I'm afraid, tells me that Agent Mills, with 18, must be eliminated from tonight's assignment.
Tough luck, Mills, to lose you at this stage, but if you go to Money Packer, she'll see that you do not go unrewarded for your devotion to duty to the department.
Thank you.
Agent Mill, the department would like to present you with this very easy-to-use and convenient pocket camera. Its film is loaded into a cartridge, and it has a little tiny built-in electronic flash. It just makes photography perfectly easy. Congratulations. Thank you for joining the mission.
3 agents left to complete the mission, but before they can go out into the field, they must penetrate the disguise of this well-known undercover agent. If you think you can identify him, keep it to yourself for a couple of minutes when we return with the Masterspy. Now to test the penetrative power of our 3 surviving agents who must identify our well-known undercover agent. Evening, Agent X.
Great place you got here, Curly.
Now, you have 30 seconds in which to identify him. You may ask as many questions as you like. You'll gain a bonus point every time you get an affirmative to your question. You'll get 5 points if you give me the right name, and you'll lose 5 points if you give me the wrong one. He's all yours.
You in TV?
Sure, I'm in TV.
Drama?
Well, sometimes it's drama, sometimes it's not.
Comedy?
Many people think it's comedy.
Do you act in films?
I have.
Were you in Casanova?
I was Casanova.
You Frank Finlay?
No, he told you a slight fib then. In real life he was Casanova, but not in the television.
That's what I thought that I meant.
Yes, I realize that. Right, continue. I see. Well, so far, our old, experienced agent has shown a pair of clean heels to our 3 young contenders. So what I'm going to do is to show you his photographic report, and while you're listening very carefully and watching the screen, if you think you recognize his voice, keep it to yourself until I actually give you a moment when you can come up with it after. Turn and face the screen, please.
The first thing you learn when you're tailing Mitzi Kardenos is that she's no early riser. I've been keeping watch on her Mews flat since 7 a.m. and was rapidly running out of lampposts to lean on. When to the sound of Big Ben striking 11:30, she decided to open her bedroom curtains. An hour later, she was ready to sniff what was left of the morning air. So I folded my copy of yesterday's Telegraph and prepared to give chase. And incidentally, I've chased a lot worse. We're in Knightsbridge now, about 50 yards from the Bosnovian embassy. As she paid off the taxi, I wondered how she planned to make herself inconspicuous while she kept the embassy door in view. Smart girl is Mitzi. Here's a ploy you don't find in many spy movies. 2 people hailing the same taxi cab. It's a sight you'll see every hour of the day in Knightsbridge. And Enrico Sergis was too busy blessing his good fortune to suspect that the encounter had been very carefully planned. They serve an excellent bœuf bourguignon in this establishment, and I was in no mood to prop up any more lampposts. I decided to spend my luncheon vouchers. The couple seemed to be getting on rather well. And when Enrico left to make a phone call, Mitzi lost no time in mixing business with pleasure. I couldn't get a close look at what she got inside that briefcase. So I photographed my bill in case you think I'm fiddling my expenses.
Right, would you like to turn and face this way? As I drop my hand, the first one to come out with his correct identity will score the 5 points.
Shaw Taylor.
Yes, you scored 5 points. It is indeed Shaw Taylor.
If I can just...
I think that applause was definitely justified for his performance, don't you? Well done,
very
Shaw.
nice. Thank you very much, Bill.
Now, Shaw, who's one of our more experienced agents, is being posted by the department to the Americas. Is that not correct?
Yes,
would you like to tell us a bit about it?
Yeah. Well, America has suddenly woken up to the fact after 16 years of Police 5, what a successful program it is. So they've started doing them all over the States now, and I'm going to do a little tour around the States and see how the Americans make out with it.
Police 5 in Chicago should be a pretty busy 5 minutes.
I might even take this suit with me.
Yes, I think you'll get that. Well, the very best of luck with our export.
Bill, thank you very much.
Thank you, Shaw.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Now, let's test your powers of observation and your ability to absorb information. We start with you, Heaton. What time did Agent X begin his surveillance outside Mitzi's Mews flat?
8:30.
It was 7 a.m. How did Mitzi contrive to keep the embassy doorway in view while she was standing at the bus stop?
Out of a taxi.
No, it was through the mirror of her powder compact. Sitting in the restaurant, was Enrico on Mitzi's left or right?
On her left.
No, it was actually, he was opposite to her, or perhaps veering towards the right. Jan Mohammed, when Mitzi first appeared at her bedroom window, what time was it?
8:30.
It was 11:30. In the photographic intelligence, we saw 2 taxis. Where did we last see the first one? It was at Knightsbridge outside the Bosnian embassy. After they left Knightsbridge, where did we next see Mitzi and Enrico?
In a restaurant.
Where?
In a restaurant.
It was outside a restaurant in Soho. Brown, what time did Mitzi leave her Mews flat?
8:30.
4 hours early. It was 12:30. When Enrico left Mitzi at the table in the restaurant, where did he go? It's been a tough one this week, hasn't it? To make a phone call. Being a man of integrity, Agent X won't be fiddling his expenses. How much will he put down to cover his lunch?
£8.72.
He put down £4.62, actually. Tells us a lot about your lunches, doesn't it? Money packer, the score, please.
Certainly, Major. At this very vital stage in the mission, I can see that Agent Brown is leading the field with 35, Agent Heaton has 31, and that sound tells me that Agent Jan Mohammed with 29 must be eliminated from tonight's assignment.
Bad luck, Jan Mohammed, but it was a good scrap. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we do, and if you'd like to go over to Money Packer, you'll see that the department is quite generous.
As a reward for your efforts, the department would like to present you with this rather superb mains battery 5-band portable radio. It has a gyro antenna, which not only allows you to have excellent program production, but it also can be used as a very simple direction finder. Thank you very much for coming on this mission. Pleasure.
Now, the successful completion of the mission now rests on your shoulders. You'll need both your initiative and a great deal of observative powers. Your next stop is obviously going to be Studio 35, where you will come across your quarry. Here are your instructions for your eyes only. Absorb them very carefully and keep in radio contact with us. And remember, the woman you're dealing with is a very dangerous woman.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Are you both members?
Yeah.
Yes.
There you are.
New members just recently joined.
I only asked because I hadn't seen you in here before.
Yeah, we just
No.
last week when we were in town making our film, you know.
When you're in town.
Oh, you're in the film business?
Yeah.
That's right, yes.
Well, of course we wouldn't.
Get them all.
Johnny.
All the women.
Yeah. Would you excuse me, won't you? Yeah, sure.
evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I understand you're film producers.
That's right, yes.
It's nice to meet you. My name is Mitzi Kardenos.
I'm ready.
Hello.
Good evening. David, my name.
Nice to meet you. What exactly are you producing at the moment?
Well, we're producing what we hope is going to prove to be a very successful, good class sex movie.
Really? Or perhaps you gentlemen would care to drink something with me.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Johnny, the special cocktails, please.
Of course.
They are Bosnovian, you understand, and I would like very much that you drink with me. I am also here tonight to meet a friend, to see a screening of a very, very lovely British film made in 1956. It starred, I think, Alec Guinness and Peter Sellers. I like very much.
What was that film? The title
It slips me, but please, now we will take and drink to your success, gentlemen. Oh, no, but first, please, I would like first that we go through a very, very old custom we have in Bosnovia. Johnny, show the gentleman. He does it so well. It's a little, how you say, shaken, not stirred, I think.
That's very quaint.
It's interesting, but very important in my country, you understand. Now, please, gentlemen, drink.
Yes, thank you very much.
That's chipping that glass there. Look.
Yes,
Having
Your very good health.
Thank you.
Oh, excuse me, my friend is arriving. You will excuse me. Enrico. Oh, my darling, it's so
very,
good
very
to
nice
see
to
you.
see.
Come,
What a
the table
beautiful
is
club
here.
you have here.
Johnny,
Excuse me, please.
the usual.
Well, I had the most difficult day, but I'm finally well, very tired, but never mind. You look very
Enrico, we will have a few drinks and see the screening. And afterwards, maybe I take you back to my apartment and play you something smooching in stereo.
You have Trini Lopez.
I have everybody, but later. First, come, let me take your case and put it somewhere safe.
no,
so you can
Miss, no,
forget your case.
it's
No,
really
my
very
darling
important
Papa,
for this to stay with me.
Park it safe.
Well, if you say. Oh, thank you very much. Who has brought me this?
From Madam, of course.
Oh, very
From
kind,
Madam.
very kind indeed.
Enrico, my darling, the film is ready to be shown. So I suggest we go into the viewing theater and Johnny will bring our drinks later.
If that is your wish.
You know what I wish, but later, come.
Controlled field mouse, you're both doing very well, particularly over the drinks. I thought you handled them beautifully. But any moment now, you'll be required to go into action. First, listen carefully while Moneypacker gives you the latest information from our intelligence sources.
It transpires that Mitzi Kardenos uses a coded procedure for intercepting and falsification of stolen documents. She places them behind a hidden panel, which is identifiable by the title of the film she's chosen to view. The panel is released by her accomplice through the use of the fragmented title coordinator. To retrieve the documents, he must correctly line up the surname of the man who directed the picture.
This is precisely what you must do now. Agent Brown, you hold the highest current rating, so the option to proceed is yours.
If you make a mistake, we shall stop you, and Agent Heaton will have the right to take over. You need to work fast before the accomplice arrives, so please hurry. Agent Brown, what are you looking for?
I don't know.
You don't know. Have a little think.
We can't give you too long. Heaton, you must take over. We can't allow time.
Now, did Mitzi give you any clues? What was she going to view? What did she say about the film she was going to view?
Forgotten.
Right, Brown? Can you remember what she said about the film she was going to view? It's essential you remember.
The year was 1956.
Yes, who was in the film?
Oh, she said Alec Guinness.
Yes, go on, and who else?
What have you got to find out about those people in that film when it was
Have a
made?
look round the room that you're in. See if there's anything that would kindle a memory.
Yeah, the lady killers.
Yes,
Correct.
the noble Heaton helped you, didn't he? Right, what are you going to do now?
We're trying to dial out the actor's name, McKendrick.
Yes, McKendrick is correct. Now what are you going to do?
That should give us entry into the theatre.
And you're wrong. Can the other agent please take over?
No, I can't, I'm sorry.
You can't.
What are you after?
After the
Entry.
briefcase.
Right, you're after the briefcase, aren't you? And that's hidden, isn't it?
And where's it hidden?
Behind the doors.
Behind, not the
A
door.
A door.
A door.
A door or panel?
A door.
A panel.
She hides it
Well.
behind a hidden panel, actually.
Pull these
Which panel
doors
is it
in.
behind? Which panel would it be behind, and what's happened so far?
She went through this door.
Yes, but which panel would the briefcase be behind? You are obsessed with that door.
Behind the lady cupboard.
That's
That's it.
very possible. That's it. Now, which door did they go through, Brown?
Together they went through this one.
Correct. Go through it.
Right, you, come on. You're coming with me. Come
What are
on.
you doing?
Come on,
This is
I'm
a friend
chasing
of
you.
mine.
It's a
He's
revolution.
very-
What is happening,
I'm
Mrs.
sorry, Enrico, my darling, what can I do?
Well done, Agent Brown. You've completed your mission. It only remains for you to return to base with a briefcase and surges to collect your just reward. That's it. Shove him up the stairs.
Agent Heaton, leave us. We're sorry you didn't quite make the last few yards, but your work isn't quite finished. I want you to go into the viewing room and demand that Mitzi Kardenos accompanies you to the nearest police station.
Right you are. Come on, you go. We've got to go.
My darling, what is the meaning of it? You have... But wait, don't push me, please.
Oh, I love pushing women about.
I have a little something for you first. Just a little something. Not even that, a bigger something than that.
Bigger one than that.
As a token of cordiality between our two countries, I want for you to accept this advanced mains and battery-operated television set with its personalized earpiece for your own enjoyment.
Thank you very much.
Now perhaps we can sit down and talk about it.
You still better come, girl. You know, they've got to be alone, baby.
Congratulations, Brown, on your accolade of the Masterspy. Moneypacker?
The department would also like to accept with their gratitude this really beautiful, precision-made Super 8 Cine sound camera. It has automatic exposure control, a zoom lens, and also, just to keep it company, this rather beautiful automatic dual projector, which also has a zoom lens. Congratulations.
Very nice, lovely. Thank you very much.
And we'd like to thank you for being with us and hope you'll join us next time around for another assignment of the Masterspy.
Well, as we seem to have cleaned